Good morning, Philippines. Good morning, world. Today is Friday, 18th of December 2020.
We are here to inform you the latest updates in the world.
I am Lloyd Pilata,
I am Angel Faunilio,
bringing you the hottest and the latest news for this hour.
and this is MK Education Live Current Affairs and Updates. And for the international news, French President Macron tests positive for COVID-19. Paris French President Emmanuel Macron has tested positive for COVID-19. The presidency said on Thursday, December 17, although it was not clear at this stage where he contracted the virus. In a coded code, the president tested positive for COVID-19 today, Thursday, it said in a statement, adding he had been tested after the onset of the first symptoms. Macron will now, in accordance with national regulations, self-isolate for 7 days, it said, adding that he will continue to work and carry out his activities remotely. A spokeswoman said that all his trips had been cancelled, including an upcoming visit to Lebanon on December 22. They added he was trying to assess where he could have contracted the virus. Macron was the European Council Heads of State meeting on December 10 to December 11.
And for the international news, 344 kidnapped Nigerian boys freed, says state official. Hundreds of schoolboys who were abducted last week in northwestern Nigeria have been freed, according to a state official. More than 300 schoolboys were missing for nearly a week after an attack on the government science secondary school, Kankaran in Katsina State. The Nigerian military late on Thursday rescued 344 of them, who are being brought to the state capital, said Abdullah Baran, a spokesman for State Governor Aminu Bello Masari. Boko Haram was not involved, he added, but rather the boys were kidnapped by bandits masquerading as the Islamist terrorist group. CNN has not been able to independently verify this. Some of the abducted children had addressed the Nigerian government in a video released earlier on Thursday, which bore the logo of Boko Haram. In the video, a boy in a white shirt appears to be coaxed by someone off camera into making the demands on behalf of the captors. He asked the Nigerian government to close down schools that teach Western education and says government troops sent to find the boy should retreat. The video shows dozens of children under a tree who appear tired. The voice in the video claims to be Abubakar Shekau, a leader of one of Boko Haram's factions. Masari confirmed to CNN on Thursday that the children in the video are some of the pupils who were kidnapped. However, he disputed a voice claiming to be Shekau and said instead the local bandits were mimicking his speech. Earlier in the week, a man claiming to be Shekau had said a group was responsible for the kidnapping. In a short audio message shared with the Nigerian media and reviewed by CNN, when speaking with CNN's Becky Anderson on Wednesday, Masari did not dismiss the messages entirely but cautioned that more concrete evidence was needed before it could be confirmed that Boko Haram was involved. While kidnapping for ransom by criminal elements in Katsina State have seen a disturbing increase in abduction of the scale unheard of it recalls the brutal kidnapping of 276 girls from Chibok in 2014 by Shekau's faction. More than 100 of those girls never returned home. In 2018, a breakaway faction of Boko Haram known as ISWAP kidnapped more than 100 girls in Dipachi. All but one was released weeks later after negotiations.
Meanwhile, for the national news, Velasco House now has 32 deputy speakers, defensors strip of panel chairmanship. So Manila, Philippines, the House of Representatives under Speaker Lord Alan Velasco now has 32 deputy speakers after the chamber elected 2 more lawmakers to the position. During the last day of the session for 2020 on Wednesday, The House elected Gafidi 8th District Representative Abraham Bambol Tolentino and Davao City 3rd District Representative Isidro Ungab as the new deputy speakers. Last March, Ungab was removed as chair of the House Appropriations Committee under the leadership of then former Speaker Alan Peter Cayetano.
For the national news, signal number 1 raised in some areas due to tropical depression Vicky. Some areas in Luzon, the Visayas and Mindanao are now under signal number 1 due to tropical depression Vicky, the State Weather Bureau announced on Friday. Pag-asa forecaster said Vicky may make landfall in the vicinity of Davao Oriental, Surigao del Sur area in the next 12 hours and in the southern portion of Negros Island on early Saturday morning. Cuyo Islands and Cagayancillo Islands are the only places in Luzon placed under the lowest tropical cyclone wind signal, which will bring intermittent rains for the next 36 hours and winds up to 30 to 60 kilometers per hour. Areas under signal number 1 in Visayas are the southern portion of Leyte Province, southern Leyte, central and southern portions of Cebu Province, including Camotes Islands, Bohol, Siquijor, Negros Oriental, Negros Occidental, Guimaras, central and southern portions of Iloilo Province, and southern portion of Antique. Places under the lowest tropical cyclone's wind signal in Mindanao and Ardinagat Islands, Surigao del Norte, Surigao del Sur, Agusan del Norte, Agusan del Sur, Oriental, Davao, Davao de Oro, Davao del Norte, Davao City, northern portion of Davao del Sur, Camiguin, Bukidnon, Misamis Oriental, Misamis Occidental, Lanao del Norte, Lanao del Sur, northern portion of Maguindanao, Cotabato City, northern Cotabato, northern portion of Zamboanga del Sur, and northern portion of Zamboanga del Norte. Vicky is expected to bring moderate to heavy wind at times, intense rains over Caraga, Davao Oriental, Davao de Oro, Davao del Norte, Bukidnon, Misamis Oriental, Camigan, Southern Leyte, Leyte, and Bohol for the day. Light to moderate with at times heavy rains are also seen over the Bicol region, the southern portion of Quezon, Lanao del Sur, Zamboanga del Norte, and the rest of the Visayas, Davao region, and northern Mindanao for the next 24 hours due to the tropical depression. The low pressure area located east of Davao City developed into tropical depression Vicky at 2 a.m. early Friday morning. As of 4 a.m., Vicky was last spotted 210 kilometers east of Davao City with maximum sustained winds of 45 kph and gusts up to 55 kilometers per hour while moving west-northwestward at 15 kilometers per hour. Pag-asa said, Vicky will most likely remain as a tropical depression while in the country.
And for the local news, COVID transforms Dinagyang 2021 into online spectacle. Iloilo City, throngs of spectators would be out of the picture when the world-famous Dinagyang Festival goes digital to prevent the transmissions of SARS-CoV, the virus that caused COVID-19 and which is carried by human as its main dots. Organizers said Miss Universe Philippines 2020 Rabia Mateo would host the event and be the official ambassadress of Dinagyang Digital 2021. With a theme of One Dinagyang, One Iloilo, Halad kay Senior Santo Niño. The festival, known for dumbits and striking colors, would be streamed live on social media. The opening salvo on January 15, 2021 in Sadsad or street dancing on January 23 will be shown online. The culmination on January 24 will feature an online Dinagyang Mass and pre-filmed dance performances of Ati tribes. Lawyer Joe Bert Peña Florida, president of the Iloilo Festivals Foundation Incorporation, said the digital mode of the festival will enable spectators in other parts of the country and abroad to view performances in different sites in the city. He said among those to be recorded and streamed on social media are performances of selected tribes and those done by several tribes in collaborative work. A tribute to health and other workers who are on the front line of the fight against COVID-19 would be added.
And for the local news, being topless taboo under new Rojas City Ordinance. Where in Rojas City, make sure you have your upper body clothing on. Going topless and bare-chested in public, there is now a crime for both men and women punishable with a fine or even imprisonment. The Sangguniang Panglungsod of Rojas City recently passed an ordinance for this. City councilors said they wanted to promote decency, propriety, and orderliness. People of all ages must observe proper decorum wherever they may be, according to ordinance author Councilor Jericho Angel Salino. But there are exemptions to this no topless policy. Persons inside private premises, activities or events with special permit issued by the city government, implement agencies, in case of medical emergencies, indigenous people wearing ethnic clothes, when in public swimming pools, beaches, and rivers, persons engaged in sports activities. What are the penalties for going topless in Rojas City? First offense, warning. Second offense, a fine of 500 pesos. Third offense, a fine of 500 peso plus community service. What happens if a fourth or many more offenses are committed by an individual? Here, the ordinance is vague. It stated that the violator must pay a fine, although no amount was specified, or suffer imprisonment. It did not say for how long, or suffer both fine and imprisonment at the discretion of the court. The ordinance tasked the Rojas City Traffic Management Unit, the Rojas City Police, and barangay officials to enforce the ordinance. Exposed upper torsos with nipples and areola showing were and are normally in many indigenous societies. However, modern societies have developed social norms on modesty requiring covering up torsos in public. Some conservative societies considering people, especially women, who expose their nipples and areola as immodest and acting contrary to social norms, and cite them for public lewdness, indecent exposure, public indecency, or disorderly conduct.
And for the sports news, Singapore athletes fight back against body shaming mistreatment. Sicknesses every Tuesday, the Straits Times tackles the biggest sports talking points. Money FM's Adrian Abraham talks to ST Sports correspondent Sazali Abdul Aziz about local athletes speaking out against a culture of abuse, both physical and mentally, which they have been victim for years. They are later joined by ST content producer Zia Olrazan to recap the weekend's talking points in European football as an odd season continues. In the English Premier League, the top teams all drops points, while in the La Liga, Real beat Atletico and the Madrid nearby, which means a fairy tale season continues for Real Sociedad at the top of the table.
And for the sports news, no rest for the weary as Marshall wants to ramp up Olympic gold drive. Yomer Felix Marshall aced his first ever professional fight on Thursday but wants to get back to training the soonest to prepare for his biggest target of the year, the Philippines' first ever Olympic gold medal. Marshall scored a unanimous decision over American Andrew Whitfield in Los Angeles on Saturday and then turned down an offer from his managing MP Promotions to have the next week off as he aims to be the biggest fighter that he could be come the Tokyo Games in July. Quote unquote. They, MP Promotions, asked me if I want a week off, Marshall said in a Filipino, but I said I want to train as soon as possible because I need to get an experience. MP Promotions had earlier said that it would want Marshall to have at least 2 more fights before the Olympics in August. But Marshall's concern is the lack of worthy sparring sessions as possible, as par mates are now demanding fees, quote unquote. It is a good thing that they gave me an opponent that would not just take a tumble, he said in Filipino. Whitfield came out willing to engage the Filipino top prospect, who answered the first bell swinging to plant a welt below the American's right eye. The 4-rounded progress and Marshall pounded that injury even more, though the American kept coming in and gave Marshall the kind of first pro bout he needed, quote unquote. "I felt his power in the first round," Marshall admitted, citing the 10 pounds gloves, which are 2 pounds lighter than the ones he used as an amateur. Marshall was going for a knockout, but Whitfield had a durable chin, although he could not claim the scalp of Marshall like he did 3 of his first opponents who were also making their pro debuts. Whitfield, a veteran mixed martial arts fighter, ran into a quicker opponent who immediately branded his face with a massive cut in the first round before shifting his attack to the body. By the third round, Marshall finally felt at home, throwing combinations and then turning sideways with flair en route to the dominating victory. Don DeVeges, Ron Scott Stevens, and Damian Walton all scored 40-36 in favor of Marshall. Ringside tallied 320 punches thrown by Marshall, landing 120 of them. Whitfield connected just 46 of 273 thrown punches. Meanwhile, the Association of Boxing Alliance in the Philippines, or ABAP, expressed elation over Marshall's win. ABAP Secretary General Ed Vizcon said, "We're happy for Yumer and we sent our congratulations to him." ABAP President Ricky Vargas, on the other hand, said, "We expected no less from Yumer."
And for the health news, the warmest workout gear to keep you active this winter. The temps are dipping and the days are shortening, but that doesn't mean your outdoor workouts need to take subtical until spring. No, we're here to tell you that the opposite is true. Your all fresco calorie torching sessions aren't going anywhere, as long as you have the right gear to keep you warm and protected. In a Codigo, whether you're opting for a pre-dawn run, a rigorous hike of a training session in your driveway, the key to withstanding the cold and achieving your fitness goals is wearing lightweight, sweat-wicking materials that are seamlessly breathable and insulating. In a Coded Code, we scored the internet for the latest and greatest gear, from reflective leggings and water-repellent running jackets to light as feather puffs and high-tech gloves that will keep you comfortable outside.
And for the health news, Biz Group hails frontliner heroes at awards program. The Philippine Chamber of Commerce and Industry, or PCCI, has recognized individuals from the health sector of the Gawad Bayanihang Kalusugan, a national tribute to health frontliners amid the COVID-19 pandemic. In a statement Thursday, the business group identified Dr. Saturnino P. Javier of the Makati Medical Center and Zkehe Razaid Edza Ibrahim, a nurse of the Cotabato Regional Medical Center, or CRMC, as top awardees for the Gawad Bayaning Kalusugan held on December 12. Javier was recognized for his exemplary performance and committed delineation of functions as both medical director, interim co-chief executive officer, and chief of the cardiology section, while Ibrahim was acknowledged as she developed training designs and conducted lectures and trainings on the prevention and control of COVID-19 to different schools, offices, communities, and groups. Other winners include Dr. Amelita Reim Guzon of the Quezon City General Hospital Medical Center, Dr. Lionel Albert Lopez Quitos of the Adventist Medical Center, Dr. Janice C. Kawali of the Makati Medical Center, Brother Campi Lazerna Lloreco, registered nurse of the San Juan de Dios Educational Foundation Incorporated, Dr. Helen Valenzuela Madamba of the Vicente Soto Memorial Medical Center, Dr. Rotjen Mantua Solante of the San Lazaro Hospital, Dr. Julius Almario Lecciones of the Philippine Children's Medical Center, Dr. Alfonso Victoriano H. Famaram Jr., Dr. Jose and Rodriguez Memorial Hospital and Sanitarium, Dr. Eileen Manalansan Malyari of the Tondo Medical Center, and Dr. Primo Bagasao Valenzuela of the Rizal Medical Center. For the team category, PCCI gave the top award the National Kidney and Transplant Institute COVID-19 Response Team, quote-unquote. What makes the Gawad Bayaning Kalusugan special is the footprints it leaves in the lives of those health professionals who are as afraid of the novel coronavirus as humanity but are taking the road to lead the battle against the unseen so that others may live. the PCCI said a total of 1.4 million were given to the winners of the Gawad Bayaning Kalusugan.
And for the entertainment news, why Vong and wife not keen on having a baby? Vong Navarro admitted that he and his wife, Tanya Bautista, are a little unsure about having a baby because of their age. He's 43, she's 37. It's not that we're scared, we're also thinking about our age. She feels that it may be too late at this point in our lives to try for a baby. Vong related in a recent virtual conference for the comedy movie Mang Kipueng, Ang Lihim ng Bandang Itim, which is an entry in this year's Metro Manila Film Festival or MMFF. In a coded call, it also had us thinking we would be at a certain age and our child would still be too young. Added a television host actor who has two kids aged 24 and 22 from his previous marriage. And she, Tanya, sees that I have grown up now, that COVID-19 pandemic adds another question mark. Nakakahalo-halo na. You may think you are already established and that your career is going smoothly, but as it is turned out, it can all vanish in the blink of an eye, he said.
And for the entertainment news, Antoneta Taberna reveals trusted employees stole from his cafe. Radio broadcaster Anthony Taberna revealed that one of his trusted employees stole a large amount of cash from his coffee shop. Taberna shared the incident while guesting on the TV talk show Magandang Buhay last Tuesday, December 15, with his wife Roselle. The program posted a snippet of the episodes on its YouTube page on the same day. They discovered what their worker had done to their store called Katonying's Cafe 2 or 3 weeks ago. Taberna stressed that the incident was a huge blow to their family and their finances, as the treatment for their daughter Zoe, who suffers from leukemia, is not cheap. Is this like you earned a little from selling bread, you save it, then someone just takes it? While he did not mention the employee's name of the amount that was stolen, Taberna emphasized that it was a large sum. After learning of the incident, the people now plans on filing charges against the said employee. Taberna also admitted that if the problem is not solved in time, he may have to shut down their coffee shop. Despite the betrayal and its effects on their business, the couple remains hopeful that they will overcome this struggle. Prior to speaking about the thief, Taberna previously turned emotional as his daughter lost her hair due to chemotherapy last December 2. Zoe was diagnosed with leukemia when she was just 11 years old. And for the weather news, today, Friday, December 8, 2020, Philippines will experience 25 degrees Celsius. The sun rises at 6:15 and sets at 5:31 p.m. At 3 a.m. today, Tropical Depression Vicky was estimated based on all available data on 220 kilometers east of Davao City, with maximum sustained winds of 45 kilometers per hour near the center and gustiness of up to 55 kilometers per hour. It is moving west-northwestward at 15 kilometers per hour. Northeast monsoon affecting Luzon. And that's the latest and the hottest news for this hour. I am Lloyd Pilarta.
And I am Angel Faunilio for reporting for MK Education Live.
Today is 7 days before Christmas. Good morning, everyone.
Go.